Hello, I'm Monty. Today I'm going to show you how to separate sand from rocks. If you have a front yard and use rocks for landscaping, you're going to find out that sand gets blown in if you live out in the desert like I do. It's not an easy job, but if you want to do it yourself, I'm going to show you some of the things that you're going to need to get the job done. Here's a shot of my front yard. You can see that the sand is mixed in with the rocks here. Kind of hard to tell on the video. However, there is a lot of sand because this is a new build and it was out in the desert. So a lot of sand blew in before the neighborhood was finished. So what I have here is rocks with a lot of sand in there. Normally, I wouldn't do the whole job at once, but since this is the first time, it's going to be a big job. There's my dog, Duke. I went ahead and I built this screen. It's a strainer using a 1/4-inch wire mesh. Made it to fit right over a wheelbarrow. And I find that's the easiest way to do it. Now, I've seen other people do it other ways, but this, for me, was the easiest method to use. You can see here where I start clearing a spot. My dumb dogs. And go ahead and I shovel the rocks right there in the strainer that I built. You can see there where I'm clearing some area, and I just work my way back. I start at one end, and I go ahead and I use a hoe and I pull back the rocks. And here you'll see me shoveling in the rocks into the strainer. And like I said, it isn't an easy job. It takes a long time. But if you want to do it yourself, this is the way to do it. And like I was saying earlier, you don't have to do the whole yard at once. Once you get everything done, you can just do a section at a time every year. There I'm using the hoe, moving the rocks back and forth to knock the sand down into the wheelbarrow. And it's working quite nicely, actually. So if you want to do it all at once, you probably will have to do this maybe once every 3 to 5 years, depending on how bad it gets. It'd be a lot easier, though, to do one section at a time. Hi, girls. My dogs are here. My dogs are here visiting me while I'm doing this. Nothing to bark at again? All right, lay down. And then I just pull the strainer right off the wheelbarrow. Now, you might figure out an easier way to do this, but this worked for me. It would be a lot easier if there was more than one person doing the job. And it would be a lot easier if you hired somebody to do it for you. So here I'm working my way back. I started over there by the gate, working my way back. You can see that. Keep pulling the rocks back and cleaning the sand. It's just a process, working from one end of the yard to the other. And here I am getting a little bit further. The hardest part was getting underneath the bushes. Because of all the flowers and the leaves that fell in, there's quite a bit. It filled the wheelbarrow up pretty fast, actually. That's what you do, just keep working your way back. Then what I do is I go ahead and I shovel the sand from the wheelbarrow into 5-gallon buckets. And then I load it up on my Tacoma. And then from there I take it out into the desert and I dump it out in the desert. Now if you're going to do that, make sure you don't throw your trash out in the desert. I guess I don't need to say that, but some people take their trash out there and they throw it out in the desert. That's just not a good thing to do. Make sure it's just sand that you're throwing out there. So this is the process for one guy, a do-it-yourself job. When I started, I thought this would take me 2 or 3 days. It ended up taking about 7 to 10 days. I didn't realize just exactly how much sand was in there, and there was a lot. So here I am loading it up on my truck, keeping my back straight as I lift, of course. Don't want to get any injuries, at least not any more than I already have. Yeah, this is a job for a young guy, not for an old guy like me. But I managed to get it done. So here I am out in the desert. Total 280 gallons of sand removed from my yard. Who would have thought? Didn't look like much, did it? There it is, finished. Looks very nice. It's a small yard, and 280 gallons of sand in there. So I recommend that you keep the job up. Don't wait off a year or two to do this. Do a section at a time. I hope this video helped. Thank you for watching.